Hello, everyone. Welcome to Expanding Your Powers. I am your host, SAKC, and I pray that all is going well with you. Today, we have a very special guest, a woman that you will see creating change in the community all around the digital marketplace. We have today Vernice Mechel. She is the CEO and founder of Women of Intent. And I'd like for her to tell you some things about herself. Hello, lady. How are you?
Hello. Thank you so much. First of all, thank you so much for allowing me the opportunity to be a part of your broadcast. I am honored to be a part of what you are doing, and I just have to say that first of all. I am Vernice Mechel, and I am the CEO and founder of Women of Intent. And before I am all of that, I am a woman, point blank, period. And I know that as being a woman, we have many different options.
Absolutely. And I'm seeing a big shift, and it's exciting me in sisterhood nowadays. You know,
Yes.
it's the tide is changing. I mean, I don't see people, women fighting each other. I see people stepping up to the plate and helping each other. How do you feel about that?
Well, I mean, I would like to say that I am a part of that movement and that shift because I feel like building authentic relationship is very important. I'm a believer in Christ and um, pouring out the love that God wants to shower down on His people. We have to have relationship with each other, and so we have to be intentional about those relationships. But the most important relationship that we have is the one that we have with ourselves. And
Absolutely.
so if we as women are willing to go through the work and the healing process to love ourselves, we are able to fulfill the commandment of God, which is to love thy neighbor, love thy neighbor as we love ourselves. And so if I love myself enough and to the fullest, then I can fulfill that commandment and fully love my neighbor and my sister and want to see my sister succeed. And so that is what Women of Intent, part of what Women of Intent is about. We have been, as an organization, we are a baby as an organization, but as far as programming, we have been in operation, I should say, restart of operation since November of this session. And in these sessions, these is where women can come and relate, renew, and be restored. I believe that every woman needs a space where she can just take off who she is at work, who she is in the public eye, and really address her needs as a woman. That's why in my introduction, I said before I intent, I am a woman, and that foundation has to be based in love of self. And so that is the intent of me as the founder, is to provide resources and opportunities for women to really become who they are, who pursue their purpose, to build confidence up within themselves, to um, set goals and be intentional about every area, every aspect of their lives. And so this idea of Women of Intent came from me writing a book. I wrote a book called Labels, Labels, Strategies to Help Heal Negative Thought Patterns. And if your listeners want to ever go and purchase that book, they can go to vernicemechel.com and purchase that book. But I had to go through the stages of removing labels from my life and my identity so that I can move into the fullness of who I am, who I was created to be. I would compare myself to other people. I would be concerned about what other people are going to say if I did this idea or whatever. And I limited my potential. I limited my what God wanted to do through me because of labels. So how do we change anything? We are intentional about it. We have to make a decision that this is something that I am going to change. I'm going to work at doing this in my life. And so I said, you know what? I am a woman of intent. And it was like a light bulb went off in my head because I know that there are other women who feel the same way that I was feeling at that time. And so I really have a heart for women. I really have a heart for um, us um, being all that we can be and also have the support that is needed to be all that we can be. So women of intent, we support women as they support their families and their communities. That's exactly what we do. If I had to put us in a nutshell, that's exactly what we do. We are a support group that encourages women, that supports women, educates women, enriches their lives, and develops them into being who God has called them to be and pursue their purpose and grow the seed that is within them.
That's great. One of the things that I noticed, there's always been this image that we as, we have to be strong women, kind of like Rosie the Riveter type. Right. And I came to the conclusion, I got a revelation the other day. I said, wait a minute. We don't get no medal for this. There's no award for being the strongest woman in the world. The only thing you end up with is health problems, mentally, physically, and spiritually. So so I said I'm going to stop wearing that label personally.
Exactly. We have that. I call that in many. I didn't coin this term. The superwoman complex, that we feel like that we have to be put on our cape and go out and save everyone else. But we are neglecting the most important person in our lives, and that is us as an individual. And so we have to, although sometimes we are the person, there are many women who are wearing both roles as mother and father in the home, and they have to, work, go to school, take care of the children, and
be on their grind.
If they don't, I have been one of them myself. Where I get into automatic mode and I just put my head down to the grind and do what has to be done to get what is needed to be gotten. And so, in that, we have to take that time. Sometimes you have to do it for a season. And so, but in that season, we have to be intentional. That's what a woman of intent is. She is intentionally aware of who she is, what she has, and what she is doing in her life. And so, for a certain season, you might have to wear all the hats and the capes and all and save everyone, but you also have to be intentional about saving yourself.
Right. There has to be a balance. There has to be a balance. It has to be balanced because if you're we've all been there. Those of us who have been, single parents have been there in terms of having to juggle it all. That whole thing about I can bring home the bacon and fry it.
Right. Sometimes we've had to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, we have to do it. But then it comes to a point where it's expected. And it's like, wait a minute, hold up. I don't want to do this all the time. Like you say, you do it because you have to. We get so good at doing things that we don't realize that, we got to pull back.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you might be good at doing a thing, but that doesn't mean that you're meant to do it for the rest of your life.
There you go. Yes. You know, that's why I spoke of seasons. You know, there are seasons where we have to. You know, I look back, you know, I'm the mother of three daughters, 28, 24, and 17. And I look back over the years, and there have been times where I just had to, you know, do it all, you know, but I also had to take those times to evaluate where I was and use my resources, you know, to where, you know, I had people in my life that were willing to help me raise my daughters to where I didn't have to feel the burden of, you know, doing it all by myself. And so,
Right.
you know, that is something that we also have to recognize as women is that, you know, there may be resources that we can, you know, tap into and be able to provide some stability within our families and within ourselves. You know, I go back to where they tell you when you go on the air a flight, you
Put
know,
your
to
mask on. Yeah.
put the mask on yourself 1st. And so that's what my mission is. One of my missions in life is to help women put the mask on themselves and not feel guilty about putting that mask on and having the confidence to put the mask on themselves before they put it, you know, on other people. And so, you know, we have to do that as we're nurturers, you know, by nature as women. And sometimes, you know, people take advantage of that nurturing spirit that we have.
Yes, yes.
But once we have knowledge of ourselves and who we are and what we have in us to give to this planet, this, you know, society, then we are able to change the minds and the hearts of people all around.
Absolutely, because you know, I've come to the conclusion. You know, there was a time when I would say something like, "Oh boy, you know, people keep taking advantage," you know, and then you realize, wait a minute, God will speak to you and say, you know, I made you this way. You know, it's not a curse. It's a blessing. It's just like they said, you know, you don't cast your pearls before swine. You know, you have to really use discernment and, you know, okay, is this good soil? Is this good ground that I'm sowing in? Because yes, there are people, you know, even with writing, you know, writing books and things like that, you know, you have people coming to you, oh, could you help me do this and could you help me do that? And it's like, okay, hold up, you know, I'm gonna help you. I'll help you, but you know, you do realize that in order for me to get there, I had to pull my straps up too. So I'm not gonna do things for you. But I'm going to show you what I did to get there.
Yeah, you know, and it's about, you know, helping someone, but not enabling them, you know, to get to where, you know, they need to be. You know, we all have to take those steps and do the hard work. But it is about journeying with people as they pursue their purpose without neglecting your purpose, you know, because sometimes we can get off track and wanting to help people, but it was that our assignment. And so, you know, we all, you know, I suggest, you know, I can't tell anyone what to do, but for me, I have had to be grounded in my relationship and my belief system that is has helped me transform my mind and my heart to believe that God has placed something special within me. He's placed something special within all of us. But, you know, we just have to, sometimes it takes a lot of, because of our family situations and what our, you know, histories have gone through, you know, sometimes, you know, we all have faced different traumas that have caused us to suppress what the seed that has been placed in us. And so you have to make up your mind that, you know, I am the one that's going to change the trajectory of my family and leave a legacy that is going to outlive me and the generations to come. And so what we do as women, we give birth to things, to people, but we also give birth to ideas. And those ideas are able to change the lives of other people for the betterment of us all, the whole.
Absolutely, because even in that, you see generations. I talked to my mother about this, and my grandparents had 5 children, and out of those 5 children, my aunts are some of the most, and my mom are some of the most uh, inspirational, uh, highly intelligent women. But during that time of their birth, they were not encouraged to go any further than get a job. They were not encouraged to go out and go after different things. And so therefore, you know, they were put in situations where they couldn't grow or they didn't know how to grow.
Right. They were labeled. That goes right back to, the what I went through myself. The labels that are placed on us, different seasons, different times, different generations. You spoke about your aunt and your mom. My mom is 76 years old, and so she grew up in a different era than me. And sometimes she doesn't understand, the things, you put a lot on social media and all of that, where, their generation was, kept things to themselves.
Right, the secrets.
Right, exactly. But, now I do believe that God is wanting, I believe this with all that is in me, is that, when we allow ourselves to be vulnerable and we allow ourselves to open up, to be able to be healed, then that is when we are able to have the most effective change. And so, you know, um, my mom, she grew up, work, school, and although she didn't, she was proud, of me for becoming a registered nurse and, pursuing, education after high school. But, that wasn't a priority. She would rather have me found a great job and just, put your head down and work, for however long that you needed to work. But that is that generation. That is that is of that generation. And so, we have to appreciate that time that, they instilled the good work ethics in us. But we have to take that one step further. And instead of putting your head down and work, okay, we can put our head down and work, but I can also work on what God has put in me instead of working for someone else and building their dream.
Absolutely, absolutely. So what would you say to women out there who are in need of a support group like Women of Intent to draw them in, to get them to come in?
I would just say this: love yourself enough to take a chance to allow God to connect you with a group that is authentic, that wants to express love in a way that only God can do, and you know that it is a love that is from God. There is no competition. That we are accepting to all. We do have a Facebook page for those who would like to join us. Women of Intent with an exclamation point is our Facebook group. In the group, women who have never met each other are asking each other for prayer, asking each other for advice, sharing different accomplishments and stories. And so sometimes you just have to take a chance. And sometimes that chance is going to be uncomfortable because, I believe that growth is outside of our comfort zone.
Absolutely.
And so once you take that first step outside of your comfort zone and just connect with someone that does not look like you, does not think like you, but they want to see you succeed, that is very important. Mm-hmm. And so Women of Intent is for every woman. Our slogan is no woman left behind. Mm-hmm. And so I just think about Harriet Tubman. I watched that movie, back in the beginning of the year, and she became free, and then she went back and got her others and helped them to become free. Mm-hmm. And she was not going to be settled until her family was free. And so with Women of Intent, I have become free and expanded my mind from the limits of the labels that have been placed on me. Then I want to go back and I want to help as many women do the same thing so that they can pursue their purpose and grow the seed that is within them, and also be able to provide the resources to where it's not just I'm inspiring you to do better. Okay, you want to do this? Here is a resource for you to be able to become who God has created you to be. And so it goes twofold, where we inspire and we also develop. And so that is one of the goals of Women of Intent Incorporated as an organization to support, to sow seed of support, education, enrichment, and development into the lives of women as they support their communities and their families.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for being with us today. And once again, can you let our guests know where they can reach you? I'm going to also put it in on your flyer when I post the recording.
Okay. You can check me out on Instagram, Vernice Mechel. That's V as in victory, ERNICE, Mechel, M as in Mary, ECHEL. And also on Facebook, Vernice Mechel Mitchell on Facebook. If you want to connect with Women of Intent, we do have Facebook, Women of Intent, on IG as well. And so also you can check me out on my website, vernicemechel.com. I have blog posts on there. And if you would like to purchase my book Labels, I would send you an autographed copy of that. And so thank you so much for having me on your show today. I really appreciate it.
Oh, no problem. Thanks everyone for listening in. Contact this great woman. She's doing some great things. If you're in a rut and you feel like you are, struggling with something and you'd like to connect with this powerful group of women, go ahead. I mean, I see them posting great things and doing great things in the community. So we would like you to go ahead and connect with them.
Yes, and on Thursdays, I would like to say on Thursdays we have our virtual show sessions. And so if anyone would like to connect with us virtually, they can go to womenofintent.com to register for our Thursday show sessions. This coming Thursday, July the 23rd, I don't know when this will air, we're going to have an online cooking class where we're going to have, we're going to have one of our cooks come in, and she's going to teach us how to cook a dessert in an air fryer. And so, we just have different educational people that come in and teach us, teach lessons. And also, I'm a life coach. And so I, help clients, with transform their minds and to become all that God has created them to be. And so connect with me. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you. This is SAKC. And I thank you for tuning in with us today. We really appreciate you guys listening. And please, if you like the podcast, please subscribe and please connect with us. Click our likes and share it out. Thank you. Y'all have a blessed day.